This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5 on this Friday on Good Morning Indiana, a vaping-related illness has led to the death of another Hoosier. The latest on what the CDC says could be causing damage to users' lungs.
A shocking water bill increase is causing concern here in central Indiana, why some residents saw their cost double.
And one of the country's biggest banks is offering a unique opportunity for high school students. How the program can improve your students' skills in business and leadership. On this Friday, we are banking on hopefully some warmer temperatures considering where we've been this week. We'll have more on that with Todd in a second. Good morning. I'm Rafael Sanchez.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Yeah, it's still actually fall, right, Todd? It's hard to believe. It kind of feels like we jumped right into
Technically,
winter.
yes.
Yeah.
Normally, our temperatures should be falling into the upper 30s here for overnight lows. We haven't even been getting to the upper 30s for afternoon highs earlier in the week. Today, though, I think we probably get close to that 40-degree mark. But as you walk out the door this morning, temperatures are sitting in the 20s in most locations right now. Officially 29 at the airport in Indianapolis and all across the area. Temperatures are in the 20s. So it's 22 in Bloomington, 25 in Crawfordsville, 27 in Tipton. But here's the deal. Here's what's going to happen this morning. We have this little band of cloud cover that's been moving through. That's going to keep the temperatures up a little bit. As soon as that moves out, you are going to see your temperatures drop pretty quickly. You already saw that 21 in Peru where the skies have just cleared. That's probably going to drop down into the teens. So I still do think we'll get to the teens in some locations here this morning. So you definitely need to bundle up. But it's just this one little band of cloud cover that's moving through. You notice all the clear skies off to the west. That's the sunshine we'll enjoy as we work our way throughout the day today. So it's a bright day. Grab the sunglasses. You'll need the jacket once again. 34 degrees by the noon hour with high temperatures today getting up close to 40 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. You may run into a little bit of overnight construction. You can see here some orange barrels out on the roads and flashing lights. This is on I-465 at Keystone Avenue. We are scheduled to have some overnight work in the westbound lanes, and you can see something's underway right there in the left lanes. Traffic scooting over to the right, and everything is still traveling up to speed this morning. This is a spot we'll keep our eyes on, and of course, we'll keep you updated. It is 5:02. A fourth person here in Indiana has died from severe lung injuries caused by vaping.
The health department confirms the person was an adult between the ages of 50 and 59. 3 vaping-related deaths have already been reported in our state. The first one back on September the 6th. Those 3 were also adults. So far in Indiana, there have been 57 probable cases of vaping-related lung illness and 55 confirmed cases.
And health administrators have been trying to find that exact cause of the lung illnesses. The CDC presented an update to the Senate committee this week. They say that there doesn't seem to be one product to blame, though most cases seem to be linked with illegal sales. The investigation also found that THC has been present in most of the samples tested by the FDA. The CDC says an additive called vitamin E acetate could also be to blame. Nationwide, more than 40 people have died from the vaping-related lung illness.
A special education aide at a West Lafayette Elementary School is facing charges for child molestation. According to court documents, a 14-year-old boy said that Jennifer Holmgren had sex with him multiple times. He said he was between the ages of 9 and 13 when it happened. Investigators say that Holmgren admitted to the sexual activity. She was working as a teacher at Klondike Elementary School and has been since fired. Holmgren is charged with 3 counts of child molesting and 1 count of child seduction.
At 5:04, a state lawmaker wants to allow younger Hoosiers to run for statewide office. Currently, you must be 21 to run for the Indiana House of Representatives and 25 to run for the Indiana Senate. Democratic Representative Chris Chung of Northwest Indiana wants to lower both of those requirements to 18 years old. At age 26, Chung is the youngest representative in the state. He says that he will soon introduce the resolution to change the state constitution.
Right now, we can fight and die for our country at 18. We can fight to protect freedom. Why is that bar so much different than sitting around and making laws and being a part of the lawmaking process? I think it's important to have that young perspective as well.
Well, there is still a long road ahead for his proposal. It has to pass the upcoming legislative session and then the 2021 session. After that, it would be put up for a statewide vote at the next election.
Our Hiring Hoosiers initiative dedicated to connecting you to jobs right here in central Indiana. We first told you about this summer program that connects students to a unique internship with one of the country's largest banks. And this morning, you can apply to be a part of it. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with much more on how you can connect with this amazing opportunity. Kelsey, fill us in.
All right, Raphael. Well, the internship is through the Bank of America, and it's just for high school juniors and seniors, and it's a way for them to get classroom to career ready by building their leadership skills and teaching them the inner workings of how a non-for-profit works. This past summer, the internship program took place at Newfields, and the students got the chance to clean up the grounds and see the inner workings of how a nonprofit is run and what their needs are, all while making a difference in the community. One of the projects the interns had to do was try to figure out how to help Newfields better engage with a younger audience. One student who took part in the internship says it gave her insight into new things.
I never really realized how a nonprofit works, and it takes a lot of people to keep this engine running. So it's kind of cool getting behind the scenes and seeing all the other things Newfields has to offer. Another thing students learn is how to improve their money habits, like building a budget and creating a savings plan. At the end of the internship, students traveled to Washington, D.C. for a summit with all of the Bank of America interns. The applications are open now for this internship, and they close on January 31st. Now, we don't know which nonprofit organization in Indianapolis that Bank of America has chosen yet, but we will update you as soon as we know that. And if you're interested in applying, you can head over to this story on hiringhoosiers.com. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. It's 5:06. Battery company Energizer could bring hundreds of jobs to the city of Franklin. Franklin Mayor Steve Barnett says the city is working with Energizer Manufacturing to bring a distribution center near State Road 44 and I-65. They would move into a large building that already exists to package batteries and distribute most Energizer products. More than 400 workers would be hired by the year 2022. Salaries range between $35,000 and $84,000 a year. The Franklin City Council still has to approve property tax break in order for this plan to move forward. They are expected to vote on that on Monday.
At 5:07, let me take you down to Morgan County, where some people in Martinsville are shocked when they saw a drastic increase in their water bill this month. In some cases, residents were paying double than what they had previously paid because of a sewer rate increase. Now, Sharon Halverson says her bill went from $45 to $90. She says she did not know it was going to happen until it did. If the city plans to increase the water bill again or any others, she hopes they provide more notice.
The correct and right thing would be to type up a little note, put it in your water bill.
So here's the other side of the story. RTV6 did talk to the mayor's office, and they say that the public notices for this rate increase went out to the local newspaper in the summer and were also on the city council agendas. The office says the increase should not have been a surprise to anyone.
At 5:08, the Indianapolis Public Library has unveiled a new section dedicated to history, culture, and stories from the LGBTQ+ community. That permanent exhibit was opened yesterday at the Central Library right here in downtown Indianapolis. Right now, the collection includes more than 6,000 items. The CEO of Indianapolis Public Library wants that number to grow.
Indy Pride has helped make this material available, and we have pledged to continue to grow this collection in the future. I don't want anyone to think that, this is one and done, that now we've got our gay collection. It's not that at all. I really see this as a starting point.
Last year, Indy Pride and the Indy Library announced a partnership to integrate the Chris Gonzalez Library and Archives into Central Library. Chris Gonzalez was a community activist and founder of Indiana Youth Group. He died in 1994.
The time now is 5:09, and this is a sign of the holidays. The Festival of Trees, it returns tonight. Lauren Casey, I know you can't wait to go. You got a sneak peek at this exhibit. The display features 92 trees decorated by businesses and organizations across central Indiana. That's 12 more trees than last year. Some companies started planting the trees right after last year's festival.
I'm a big fan of the tree by Southside Harley Davidson, and I met with them a couple weeks ago, and they were telling me all about the tree, how they started planting it just after last year's Festival of Trees closed, and what they had in mind. And it's pretty incredible. I can't wait for people to see it. It's not at all what you're going to expect.
Now, don't be surprised because one of the trees, as you can see right there, yep, that is a live owl. A live owl is part of the tree. You can see all of the trees through January the 4th at the Indiana History Center. And Todd Clausen, time to check your forecast. We need something warmish for Lauren Casey because she needs to put out her trees and her decorations this weekend. So what do you have? Can we pay you? Can you be...
You know, I was thinking about that the other day before we got that big cold spell. I was like, I probably should put my Christmas lights out, but just not turn them on. I did not take advantage, so I'm like you, Lauren. I'm sitting here waiting for the warmer days to put the lights out. As far as the temperatures this morning, it's not quite as cold as it was earlier in the week, but temperatures are in the 20s in most locations. And we'll fall another couple degrees this morning as the clouds start to clear out. And then by 8 a.m., we're into the sunshine. As soon as we get into that sunshine, temperatures, they will start to moderate here across the area. I mentioned that cloud cover. It's just this little patch of cloud cover that's making its way through central Indiana that's keeping our temperatures up a little bit this morning. Not a bad thing at all, and there's no precipitation out there, so you don't have to worry about that. Pretty good soaking rain up and down the East Coast is expected today, but you look to the west and you see the clear skies, and that's what we'll enjoy later on this afternoon. So it's a bright day for us. Have those sunglasses handy. It's just not the warmest day for us, although we should be on par for where we were yesterday. Yesterday we got up to 40 degrees in Indy. We should be right around that number today. A little cooler to the north, a little warmer down to the south where temperatures climb into the mid-40s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Public hearings continue today with testimony from a former ambassador to Ukraine. Coming up, what we can expect to hear from Marie Yovanovitch and how President Trump is reacting to that new process.
And there's a new way to teach your kids about money. Cha-ching. After the break, how an app is explaining more than just an allowance.
And here's a live look downtown right now at your commute on this Friday morning. It's 5:12, and this is a look at I-65 and I-70 at the North Split, where traffic's moving along just fine. No delays to slow you down. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
In Washington, it's day 2 of the public impeachment hearing gets underway this morning. Lawmakers will get to question the former ambassador to the Ukraine who was ousted by President Trump. This morning, the impeachment showdown resuming with former ambassador to the Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, taking center stage. In an earlier closed-door deposition, Yovanovitch testified that President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, and his associates, quote, told her that they had plans and that they were going to, do things, including to me. President Trump maintains he did nothing wrong. At a rally last night in Louisiana, he blasted the first 2 witnesses who kicked off those public hearings on Wednesday.
2 Never Trumpers, what exactly do you think you impeach him for? And they stood there and went like, what? But they're unraveling, and their sinister plans will fail.
State Department staffer David Holmes will also testify today, but that will happen in private. He says that he overheard President Trump on the phone with the U.S. ambassador to the EU asking about the investigations.
Right now, authorities in California are working to find out why a boy opened fire on his classmates on his 16th birthday. Investigators say they found a fake Instagram account they believe belonged to the teen. Hours before the shooting, the bio read, "Sagas, have fun at school tomorrow." The teen is now in critical condition after shooting himself in the head and killing 2 of his classmates. 3 more are in the hospital.
So amid this backlash over mass shootings, one of the biggest firearm brands is about to become a standalone company. American Outdoors brand says it plans to split Smith & Wesson from other businesses. The firm says gun sales will go under the company Smith & Wesson. Meanwhile, American Outdoors brands will keep selling products like knives and fishing gear. The corporation is pointing to changes in the political climate as the reason for that move. Now, because of the backlash, American Outdoors says it saw shares plummet 40% last year. The time now is 5:17, and Todd Clausen is standing by with your Friday morning forecast. Good morning, Todd.
Raphael, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. It's not the worst morning of weather we've seen this week. We're not setting any record low temperatures, but it's a quiet and chilly morning. So as you walk out the door, you definitely need to have the jacket handy, and you may want to have the gloves and maybe the hat on. But again, it's not the coldest of mornings we've seen. But the clouds are moving out, and that's going to allow, the temperatures to drop off a little bit here this morning. But it's also going to start us off with some some sunshine once the sun comes up. So grab the sunglasses as you get going here. Sunrise officially here this morning. That is going to come up just around 7:30. 29 degrees right now, just a light wind out of the northwest at 3 miles per hour. Not too much of an issue. Sunset right at 5:30 this evening. So keep that in mind if you have plans later on tonight. So where the clouds are in place this morning, temperatures are still running right around 30 degrees. 30 in Muncie, 28 in Greenfield, 29 as we mentioned in Indianapolis. Where the clouds have moved out, notice how the temperatures are running a little bit colder. 22 in Crawfordsville, 21 in Peru, 21 also in Bedford, and 22 in Bloomington. So as we go throughout the morning, the temperatures will likely drop off another couple degrees here this morning until the sun comes up. Once that happens, then we're going to see the temperature start to moderate pretty quickly across the area. In fact, by 11 a.m., we're up to 33 degrees. So we're above freezing with mostly sunny skies. Your noontime temperature, that is up to 35 degrees with mostly sunny skies. And then we should level off mid-afternoon right around 40 degrees for your afternoon high. And this evening, as the temperatures start to cool off, we'll see the temperatures get into the 30s. So here's that little band of cloud cover that I mentioned that's working its way through the area. No threat of any rain this morning. That is the good news. It's just a little bit of cloud cover, and back off to the west, you notice the clear skies. That's what we enjoy throughout not only today, but for the weekend as well. This rain is going to stay right along the East Coast. So it's Friday night. You may have plans. If you are heading out in the town, maybe grabbing some dinner. Temperatures will be falling back down into the 20s once the sun sets under a clear sky. And then tomorrow morning, starting off your Saturday in the mid-20s. It's still chilly, but as we work our way throughout the day tomorrow, this is what you can expect. Temperatures climbing into the low 40s, a mixture of sun and clouds. Not a bad day at all. And then as you look at your 7-day planning forecast, Sunday for the Colts game, 45 degrees with a mixture of sun and clouds. Should be a decent day for tailgating and heading to and from the game. And then temperatures next week finally get back up closer to 50 degrees. Trade-off will be the chance of some showers on Tuesday and then again on Thursday.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic. This is a live look from our INDOT traffic camera over on the west side, I-465 at Washington Street. Traffic's moving along just fine, northbound and southbound here. No issues to slow you down. So let's take a look at our traffic now map. You may run into some road work from the overnight hours still lingering this morning. Up here on the north side, westbound lanes of I-465. Watch for crews working near Keystone Avenue and take it slow. Drivers coming in from the south side, you may run into some traffic and construction here northbound I-65 near Raymond Street, heading towards the south split. So just slow down, watch for the lane shifts in that area. Let's travel back up to the north side, give you a live look at I-465 over the White River. You can see traffic here looks to be moving along just fine. No crashes right now around the metro area. Great news for your Friday morning drive.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. An Ohio man is going beyond the typical allowance to teach kids about money. He developed an app that teaches them about savings, spending, and even giving back. Greg Merced is a father of 6, a financial planner, and the creator of the Busy Kid app. Now, with the app, parents can pick the chores needed to be done and transfer that money to a child's bank account when it's finished. That's pretty cool. Their money is separated into 3 buckets: spending, saving, and sharing. Kids also get an actual Visa card for their account, and approval from parents is required for each purchase.
They want some new shoes, I don't know, whatever it is. You say, great, pull out your card and knock yourself out. Now, all of a sudden, you're making them pony up.
The app also lets kids invest in real stocks organized by the company's logos and paid forward by donating it to a list of charities. Now, Busy Kid is free, but there is a yearly charge for the children's Visa card. That's a great thing to do.
The kids in the video were working so hard, too. Yeah. It looked like it was good motivation. All right, well, a big discovery hidden behind a wall. Still ahead, how some Oklahoma shop owners uncovered this historic mural.
And you can help make it a happy holidays for families in need by donating to our 6 Shines on Toy Drive. It kicks off tonight at the Christmas Nights of Lights display at the State Fairgrounds. Part of the proceeds from the event will go to the annual RTV6 Toy Drive. You could also bring a toy and get a discount on an Indy Fuel ticket. What a great combination. Enjoy the game, feel good about donating. Come on to the State Fairgrounds. We look forward to seeing you. The time now is 5:22 on this Friday, and you're watching Good Morning Indiana.
Face a select new 2019 model.
So check your walls because some Oklahoma business owners made a historic discovery while doing renovations on their new store. While they were chipping away at the sheetrock, they uncovered a Coca-Cola mural on the brick wall behind. Check that out. The building was built in the 1920s, so they estimate that that mural is about a century old. The owners embraced their find, and also a local artist helped restore some of the missing pieces. Historians are now researching the mural to find out when it was painted and who was behind it. I could not be so lucky to chip away at my walls.
Find something cool.
Yeah, there would be nothing there.
Yeah, that's okay.
But a lot to say this week, weather-wise, right?
Yeah, you know, we started off this week with those record cold temperatures, our first big snow of the season, and we're ending it pretty quiet here as we end the work weeks, which is good news as you start your Friday morning commute. There's a little bit of cloud cover out there right now, and that's been keeping the temperatures up a little bit across the area this morning in the mid to upper 20s. But those clouds are breaking apart and moving out. So as that happens, temperatures will drop off pretty quickly. So that's why you see we go from 26 at 6 a.m. to 20 at 8 a.m. But the good news is once the sun comes up, we will see those temperatures warm all the way up to right around 40 degrees for most locations, even mid-40s into the south. So it's a pretty nice Friday forecast for us, despite it being below normal. We'll talk more about the weekend and beyond coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 5:27. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5:30 on Good Morning Indiana, the man accused of shooting and killing a Fishers police canine had his first day in court.
We have more details on the charges and what possible punishment he could be facing. And also this morning, a summer program is connecting students to a unique internship with one of the country's largest banks.
That's right. And our Kelsey Anderson is going to have all the details and tell us how you can get your student involved. But first, here it is Friday. We do need to get a check of that forecast.
And anytime you are double digits this time of year, Todd Clausen, it feels like spring. It's sort of spring-like in Indiana. Anytime you can see two numbers on the thermometer, and we have to just celebrate it, right? Because it is what it is.
Yeah, you know, especially after what we went through earlier in the week, where some locations on Wednesday morning got down to 0 degrees. Crawfordsville was down to -1. So when you look at it in comparison, 28 degrees isn't all that bad. So it's a pretty quiet end to the work week. Sunglasses needed in your morning checklist. And obviously, the jacket will be checked for the most part from this point going forward. In your outdoor workout, if you brave it, the cold, you're good to go. There's no slippery conditions out there, no precipitation. So temperatures starting to fall off where the skies are clearing. 22 in Crawfordsville, 21 in Bedford. Where the clouds are still present, it's a little bit warmer. You're sitting in the upper 20s. But as soon as these clouds move out of your neighborhood, if you live, say, from Muncie to Indianapolis down towards the Columbus area, you'll see your temperatures drop off pretty quickly still this morning. So I am expecting those numbers that you just saw to diminish here throughout the next few hours. But look at all the clear skies off to our west. That is the sunshine that is going to be working in throughout the entire day. And with that sunshine, temperatures will slowly start to moderate. So we'll call it partly cloudy this morning, mostly sunny this afternoon with high temperatures. Lauren, that'll be topping off right around 40 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic right now as you're heading out the door to start your Friday. Here's a look on the west side. No problems for you here at I-465 in West Washington Street. Traffic's moving along smoothly, so let's take a look at our map. We've been monitoring some overnight road work lingering into this morning. That might slow you down up here on the north side, westbound lanes 465. Watch out for some crews working near Keystone Avenue. We showed you video of them earlier. Traffic is still moving along up to speed. South side drivers, we had some overnight road work here. Raymond Street up to the south split. Maybe a little bit of lane shifting in that area still this morning, so just use caution. Let's take another look, though, at I-465. This is over the White River on the north side, where you can see here traffic is quiet. It's moving along up to speed. We'll keep a close eye on things, though, throughout the morning and keep you updated.
At 5:32, here's an update from Hamilton County this morning. The man accused of killing a police dog during a chase made his first court appearance. We're talking about Richard Garrett Jr. His bond has been set at $150,000. That happened yesterday. He's facing 14 counts, including 8 low-level felonies. Police say he led them on a high-speed chase on I-69, as you may recall, on Wednesday morning. That was breaking news here on Good Morning Indiana. Then he allegedly got out and ran from that car. Now, during that foot chase, police say that Garrett shot Fishers Canine Officer Harley, killing him. That crime alone carries a possible 2-year prison sentence. The passenger in Garrett's car, Rashana Farrow, is also facing charges. A jury trial has now been set for February the 6th. A Lawrence Township official is out of a job this morning after confronting two men for no reason. But those men say the punishment that involved all of this is simply not enough.
And you saw there it happened outside of the Nordstrom Rack store off 82nd Street. Aaron Blackwell says that a man later identified as Deputy Constable watched him and his cousin check out of the store and then followed the two of them to their car. The video shows the Deputy Constable demanding to see his driver's license, threatening to tow his car, and yelling at the two men.
Are you really an officer of the law?
Yep.
We don't have any proof that you are.
Well, that's
because you have a shirt that says
driver's license out.
What is your proof that you're even legal to pull?
Shut up.
What is
Why don't you shut up? I'm not talking to you.
Does it make you feel any better?
No, it doesn't. That he got fired. Nobody from Lawrence called me, apologized, or anything. Nobody. So until you do that, it ain't heartfelt to me, and it ain't real. It's just some guy losing his job.
A few minutes later, an IMPD officer responded, talked to the men, and told them they were free to go. Well, we showed the video you just saw there to James White. He's a retired Indiana State Police lieutenant and former deputy director of the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy.
And he says the constable in this case, he says, did everything wrong.
I think you could use this video as a training tool for recruit officers and in-service officers on how not to make an enforcement stop. First things first, there was absolutely no reasonable suspicion or probable cause for the constable to stop those two individuals. And number two, he got into a verbal altercation. He let the situation get out of hand. The conduct of the constable was just unconscionable.
White also says you are not required to show your ID if a law enforcement officer has no reasonable suspicion or probable cause. The Decatur Township community is preparing to say goodbye to one of its firefighters. Lieutenant Tracy Hayden will be laid to rest today. The 38-year-old died Saturday after losing a hard-fought battle with leukemia, the disease believed to be the result of exposure to toxic chemicals when he investigated a chemical storage fire. Hayden's funeral will be held at 11 this morning at Decatur Central High School. He'll be laid to rest at Crown Hill Cemetery. Hayden is survived by his wife and two young sons. In lieu of flowers, the family asks donations be made to Decatur Township Just Cause Foundation or to the Supporting Heroes, Inc.
Well, our Hiring Hoosiers initiative is dedicated to connecting you to jobs right here in Central Indiana. And as we first told you about a summer program, it connects students to a unique internship opportunity with one of the country's largest banks. So this morning, you can apply to be a part of it. And so our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with how to do that. Hey, Kelsey.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, so this internship is through the Bank of America, and it's just for high school junior and seniors, and it gets them classroom to career ready by teaching them leadership skills and also the inner workings of how a non-for-profit works. This past summer, the internship program took place at Newfields, and the students got the chance to clean up the grounds and see the inner workings of how a nonprofit is run and what their needs are, all while making a difference in the community. One of the projects the interns had to do was try to figure out how to help Newfields better engage with a younger audience.
Kids get comprehensive experience from meeting with the CEO all the way down to the volunteer docents, so they learn everything about how the not-for-profit works.
Another thing students learn is how to improve their money habits, like building a budget and creating a savings plan. At the end of the internship, students traveled to Washington, D.C. for a summit with all of the Bank of America interns. Bank of America has not announced which nonprofit they are going to work with next summer, but we do know that applications are open now through January 31st. For a link and how to apply, visit this story on hiringhoosiers.com. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. A local group is working hard to make sure that kids on the east side are winter ready. Members of the grassroots organization Creating a New Society are holding a coat drive this weekend. Their goal is to give away free coats to 5 500 Indianapolis children, a gesture they hope will protect those kids from brutal winter cold. Raphael Dorsey founded this organization and came up with the idea for a coat drive 5 years ago after seeing the problem firsthand. From there, the coat drive took off, and now the goal is to serve the community every year, a process that takes months of planning and is done with little to no money.
We don't receive any grants, any sponsorships, no big name companies are backing us or anything like that. That's just pretty much like what we go off of out of our own pocket. We're just small, grassroots organization, just trying to give back, trying to help.
Well, the coat drive is this Saturday at the John Bonner Center near East 10th and Rural Street. The doors open at 10 a.m. and will stay open while supplies last. The organization is still accepting coat donations as well. For more information on how you can help, go to the RTV6 app and just click on this story.
The time now is 5:39. It may be difficult to say no to those faces if you're thinking about giving a deserving pet a new home just in time for the holidays. Indianapolis Animal Care Services has the opportunity just for you. Here are some of the animals that will be up for adoption during tonight's special late night adopt-a-thon. IACS needs to free up kennel space. All adoptions will be free during the event, and the first 25 dogs and 10 cats adopted during the night adoption will go home with a special adoption kit. The adopt-a-thon is from 6 to 10 at the IACS, which is located right here in Indianapolis. That's 2600 South Harding. So make sure, if you can, give a beautiful pet a home. The time now is 5:39, and Todd Clausing is standing by. Todd, will it be a good day to walk your dog, considering, it's kind of chilly out there?
Yeah, it's chilly. You'll need to bundle up a little bit here this morning, but it's probably not the worst morning compared to the single-digit temperatures we had. And as the kids head off to school here this morning, temperatures going to average right around 25 degrees with partly cloudy skies, so no threat of any precipitation, but bundle up accordingly to what you think temperatures will feel like at 25 degrees. Then as the kids come home, temperature right around 40 degrees with mostly sunny skies. So there's a little bit of cloud cover out there this morning. That is moving out. Once that goes through, temperatures will drop off. But again, we get back to near 40 degrees this afternoon, and a big concert this evening at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Right off his win for Male Vocalist of the Year that you saw at the CMA Awards. We're here on RTV6. Luke Combs in town. Temperatures will be falling into the 20s throughout that show, but no threat of any precipitation. We'll talk more about your weekend forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. There are major new developments in the impeachment showdown. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi now using the word bribery. What that could mean as the House moves forward with open hearing.
Plus, firefighters in Missouri put all their energy into saving a woman after her car, as you can see, left dangling off the edge of the road. Next, you can see that daring rescue right here on Good Morning Indiana.
For a healthy heart.
Another open hearing is set for today in the impeachment inquiry, this time with the ousted ambassador to the Ukraine. Testimony from Marie Yovanovitch could shed new light on the apparent smear campaign against her allegedly orchestrated by President Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. And behind closed doors, a witness is expected to share his account of a previously undisclosed call between Mr. Trump and Ambassador Gordon Sondland. And that hearing could corroborate Wednesday's testimony alleging that Mr. Trump cared more about investigating the Bidens than helping Ukraine. Meanwhile, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is pointing to a possible bribery charge against the president, which is a major step because bribery is in the Constitution as an impeachable offense.
Time now, 5:45 this morning. There are new details on that deadly school shooting out here in California. Police say this all unfolded in just 16 seconds. The shooter wounded several classmates, killing 2 of them. And now we're learning more about the off-duty first responders who were able to quickly rush to this scene. They were there so quickly because they were already on campus. ABC's Janae Norman has the latest.
Overnight, dozens of people gathering to remember the victims of America's latest school shooting. Police in Santa Clarita say Thursday morning a high school student killed 2 classmates who were among a group gathering near the school's entrance before classes began. They say it was the shooter's 16th birthday. According to investigators, it took only 16 seconds for the teen to pull a gun out of his backpack, shoot several students, and then turn the gun on himself. Students and teachers inside rushing to place these chairs against the doors for security, just as they've practiced in lockdown drills so many times.
It was just a normal Thursday. We woke up in the morning, got ready. Our biggest problem was, about the dance on Saturday and, you know, whether you forgot to do your homework or not. And then all of a sudden, it's life or death.
Moments after the shots rang out, the first responders on the scene were 3 off-duty law enforcement personnel. They had just dropped off their own children at the school. One arrived at the shooting scene in mere seconds.
He had just dropped off a family member at the school and was driving away from the school along the perimeter when he saw all the children running away from the sound of the gunfire, and he turned around and became the very first person on scene.
Anguished parents rushing to the school, some saying they had prepared for a day like this, even setting up an emergency meeting place. The 2 victims killed include a 16-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy. 3 other students were wounded. The gunman overnight listed in grave condition. Janae Norman, ABC News, New York.
An effort to pass a gun background check bill was blocked the same day of that school shooting in California. H.R. 8 was passed by the House back in February. It would require that background checks on all firearms in the country, sold in the country. As it stands now, only licensed gun dealers must perform those background checks. And that leaves gun sales between individuals largely unregulated. And Democratic Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut requested that H.R. 8 be passed by unanimous consent, saying in his own words, "We cannot go 24 hours without news of another mass shooting somewhere in America." But that motion was blocked by Republican Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith of Mississippi. She argued that the bill should not be exempt from consideration by the appropriate committee.
Well, come take a look at this on your screen right now.
Wow.
Rescuers in Missouri were able to pull a woman to safety after her car, you see it there, was left dangling on the edge of a roadway. The woman crashed on snowy roads in southeast Kansas City. Crews used a cable on a tow truck to steady the car, and then firefighters smashed the windshield and reached in and got the woman to pull her out. The woman made it out okay with only minor injuries. So thankful that she is okay there. A crazy scene. And Todd, thankfully, the snow and those conditions, they're kind of behind us at this point.
Yeah,
for now anyways.
For at least a little while, yeah. We don't have any snow in our forecast. We do have some rain showers in the forecast once we get to next week. But until then, we are looking at pretty quiet conditions, including your weekend. So it's a chilly start once again today with temperatures that are in the 20s. Temperatures will remain below average throughout the weekend, but there's the key word, it is dry. And then the warming trend heads in here next week. But with that warmer air arriving will come the opportunity, as we mentioned, to pick up a few very, very light rain showers. Temperatures outside right now are in the 20s anywhere you go, 29 in Indianapolis, but where the skies are clearer, that's where the temperatures are in the low 20s. And I wouldn't be shocked this morning, Kokomo, Bloomington, when we get the update at the top of the hour, if your temperatures drop down into the upper teens. So it's a cold morning for us. And as we work our way throughout the course of the day today, temperatures will moderate, though, up to 40 degrees with lots of sunshine across the area. So even though we're below normal, it's a decent day for us compared to what we dealt with earlier in the week. So you can get out there and enjoy the sunshine. Just going to need to bundle up a little bit. I mentioned that cloud cover clearing out. It's just this little band from Muncie to Richmond, back through the metro area and then down towards Brown County. But you notice that it's moving out. Behind this, we have clear skies, and that's the sunshine we enjoy for the weekend. This storm system, that is going to stay off to our east and bring rain to the east coast here over the next few days. So partly cloudy skies throughout the evening hours. Just bundle up as temperatures fall back down into the 20s on this Friday evening. And then for tomorrow morning, as you wake up, temperatures are in the 20s, so very similar to what we have outside right now. But tomorrow we should get a degree or two warmer here for your high temperature. And then for Sunday, partly cloudy skies and a temperature of 44 degrees. If you are heading to the Colts game on Sunday, as the Jacksonville Jaguars are in town, temperatures will start off as you head to maybe tailgate a little bit in the 30s, but will warm into the mid-40s as that game starts to progress with a mixture of sun and clouds. And then next week, that's when temperatures finally get a little closer to the 50-degree mark. Could be some spotty showers on Tuesday, but a better chance of rain showers looks like to be on Thursday with that more mild air that will be in place. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at our traffic maps. No crashes to report around the metro area, so that is good news. Let's plan out your drive. Heading into downtown from the east side on westbound on I-70. You can expect a 10-minute drive from Post Road all the way into I-65 there at the North Split. No issues. And let's take a live look at it right now. This is I-70 and Sherman Drive from our INDOT traffic camera. Again, we'll keep an eye out for any crashes or delays that might slow you down on your Friday morning commute, and we'll keep you updated.
So the roads are clear, but your holiday travel may be a little tricky. If you're planning to fly somewhere for Thanksgiving, get ready. I mean, are you ready for some long lines? TSA says that air travel is expected to reach an all-time high this year. From the Friday before Thanksgiving through Monday, December the 2nd, officials expect close to 27 million flyers will pass through a TSA checkpoint at one of the nation's airports. The Sunday after Thanksgiving is expected to be the busiest day U.S. airlines have seen in years. More than 3 million passengers are expected to take to the skies on that day alone.
Speaking of Thanksgiving, Raphael, Hardee's is testing a new menu and item, and it's called Thanksgiving in a Box. It includes stuffing, breaded tenders, sweet potato waffle fries, toasted onion-coated green beans, and chicken gravy. The fast food chain is pitching this as a tasty, stress-free alternative to traditional holiday favorites. Right now, those boxes are being tested in Jacksonville, Florida, and if they're successful, a nationwide rollout could follow. Sounds pretty good.
It's good to have choices.
Yes.
A stress-free holiday. A man who tricked his way into getting his overweight cat on a plane, listen, foiled by his own social media post. Coming up, the punishment he is now facing. Why did you do that? The story next, right here on Good Morning Indiana.
Ask your doctor about Taltz.
You don't have to post every picture you put on a selfie, right? Just if you take a selfie, you don't have to post it because a Russian man is paying the price for using a cat body double to fly his pet. Yes, you heard me right. A cat body double. Mikhail Galen knew his cat Victor exceeded the 18-pound weight limit for pets to fly in the main cabin, so he hired a lighter look-alike cat. He and that cat's owner swapped the felines during the weigh-in process. When he got the green light, Galen swapped Victor back in, boarded the flight, and off they went, right? Well, he might have gotten away with it, except he posted about this caper on social media. The airline found out and revoked all of his frequent flyer miles. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Oh, my goodness.
And as you
Victor, too fat to fly.
And you know, I'm not going to go there, but you know, I love a good selfie. But I've learned many times.
Sometimes you just keep them on the phone.
Keep it in the phone. Or don't take it at all. How about that?
Yeah.
All right.
It's so hard.
Okay. Don't do that. It's going to cost you.
Yeah. All right. We do want to talk to Todd Clausen, who's sharing the forecast with us today. Todd, what can we expect?
Yeah, I mentioned just a few minutes ago in Maine weather when the new update comes in temperature-wise at the top of the hour. I was expecting the temperatures to fall into the teens in the locations where the clouds have moved out. And look at that. Bloomington now down to 19 degrees. Still some cloud cover in Indianapolis, so 28. But as soon as the clouds clear out here in the metro area, that temperature, too, will start to fall. So it's a chilly start. You'll need to bundle up this morning, and overall it's still below normal throughout the day today. But eventually, with partly cloudy skies this afternoon, we'll see our high temperature get up to right around 40 degrees. So all in all, it's a chilly day, but not a bad day to end our work week. More on the weekend forecast and beyond coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 5:57. Stay with us. We'll be right back.